Hello and welcome back to the channel as we go digging into the bowels of Prime Video once more to see what we can find. Do subscribe to follow the journey just in case we find some hidden gems. This time we've got Hell Comes to Frogtown, which is basically the adventures of wrestler turned actor Roddy Piper in something that comes across as a 70s sex comedy mixed with Doctor Who of the same decade. As the film starts, we are told over archive footage of mushroom clouds that the world has barely survived a catastrophic nuclear war. The human population has been decimated and very few people remain fertile. A neat little graphic introduces us to Sam Hell, a traveller of the wastelands. He has been captured by a group of warrior nurses who want him to impregnate a group of fertile women they are expecting to arrive after he leaves a trail of pregnant people behind him. Unfortunately, the women have been captured by mutants, so it's mission on to get to Frogtown and rescue them. As the mission gets going, it's revealed that Sam has been fitted with a codpiece primed with a bomb, amongst other things, under the control of his handler Spangle. Soon it's time to set out in the pink battle ambulance. Sentinella really likes her gun. This is not subtle. Turns out that post-apocalyptic Earth looks a lot like Southern California. Excitement reaches fever pitch as the team stop to refuel the car. Sam attempts to escape, but the codpiece kicks into action and voltage to his gentleman's area soon stops him. Spangle revealing that for some reason it's her earrings that control the codpiece device. Sentinella continues to further her relationship with her big-barreled friend. Spangle attempts seduction on Sam to keep his, in inverted commas, count up, but her training in the art doesn't get a rise out of Sam, so to speak. After a day's travel, the team come across one of the captured women in the wilderness, having escaped from the mutants. In a somewhat weird scene, Spangle encourages Sam to essentially force himself on the woman, even going as far as to drug her to make it easier. And then once again, Spangle tries to move things along with a seductive maneuver. Next morning, and it's time to head into Frogtown. So Spangle poses as Sam's prisoner. And as we get there, the makeup design for the citizens of Frogtown is pretty good for a film on a restricted budget. There are some not animated, less detailed background masks, but those for the speaking parts are actually really well done. At the Casablanca-like bar, Sam meets an old friend. This is Looney Tunes, played by the prolific Rory Calhoun, whose life story is, at least in part, inspiration behind DiCaprio's Rick Dalton in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. film spends some time really trying to hit that Casablanca vibe, but it's not long before the heroes are captured, facing wavy arm dances and chainsaws. Some sparks added with After Effects later, and the one-eyed frog blows himself up. Thus ends the cod piece section of the film. Spangle is forced to dance for reasons that aren't really clear, but she soon gets into it. Sam by now is dual shotgunning it. A Han and Leia moment. Our heroes seem home free, but it seems the frogs have a battle 4x4. Then our heroes are held up by a guy that we've seen very briefly earlier, who has some issue with Sam about something or something. It's really not clear. And yes, it's the Star Trek rocks. Again. Second week in a row for us now. We're getting towards the end, but there's time for a final confrontation between Sam and the head frog mutant. The climactic action scene reminds you of that episode of the original Star Trek with the space lizard, filmed at these very same rocks, just that there's more samurai swords and less ad hoc gunpowder. And it's happy ending time, but Sam has one last job to do before going on a holiday, and that's getting on the job with a harem of women. Is Hell Comes to Frogtown good? Well, to be honest, it's one of those movies that sounds fantastically surreal on paper, but in reality it's a bit plodding, feeling like it was originally intended to be much wilder. You expect it to lean much more into that gonzo cinema aesthetic of gore and nudity than it does. As a comedy, it's not that funny. As an action film, there's not really that much action. The best approach, I say, read the plot synopsis and let your imagination play it out as crazy as it should have been. That's it for this entry. I'm going to try and get one of these out fairly regularly. Do like and subscribe if you're enjoying this journey into the dark corners of Prime Video, and we'll see you again soon.